Welcome back to the third class of light reflection and refraction. As I said you previously, mirrors are highly polished surfaces like this. Highly polished reflecting surfaces. And one more thing, mirrors are of two types, plane mirrors and spherical mirrors. Okay, let us discuss about the image formation by such kind of plane mirrors. Now tell me one thing, that is this image of cap visible in the mirror or not? Yes, it is visible. How the image is forming in the mirror? That's what about which we are going to discuss. For that reason we have to take a plane mirror, right? Yes. Let us imagine that it is a plane mirror. What is it? A plane mirror. Plane mirror is ready. Let me take some sort of point object here. O. You may have a doubt now. What is meant by a point object? Are you able to see a point here? This is said to be the point object. Done? This light point is said to be a point object which appears like this. Done. So this is our point object. Whenever object is there, some light rays should appear to fall on the mirror. I am indicating the incident light rays with pink color. Incident light rays are indicated with pink color. Then what should you draw? I already told in the previous videos, you have to draw a normal to this surface at the point of intersection of the incident ray and the plane mirror, right? Incident ray is meeting the plane mirror at this point. From that point you have to draw a normal. I am indicating the normals with orange color. Done? Next, incident ray is there with pink color. Normal you have drawn with orange color. Then let the incident angle be angle of incidence I. What is the first law of reflection stating? It states that angle of incidence will be equal to the angle of reflection. So here angle of incidence is I. Therefore, there should be some reflected ray from this point appearing to have the same angle R, which is equal to I. These two angles are equal. This is our incident ray touching the plane mirror at some point A. From A, we have drawn a normal indicated with orange color. From that point, with the same angle as angle of incidence I, some reflected rays coming out, right? Now, let me take another incident ray from this same point object. Why am I taking another ray? Because for the image formation, there should be intersection of two rays. So I am taking another incident ray, second incident ray, touching the plane mirror at the point B. Then what did I say to you? At the point of intersection, you have to draw a normal, good, indicated with orange color. Then let it be angle of incidence I. Then definitely some ray should be reflected with the same angle I, which is equal to the angle of reflection R. The emerging reflected ray is indicated with green color. So let us name them clearly. Incident ray 1, I1, reflected ray R1. Incident ray I2, reflected ray R2. This is our plane mirror which is shaded at the back side. Shading symbol is drawing crossing lines. Done? Now, as I said you, for the formation of an image, the two rays, whether they are reflected or refracted, should be intersecting with each other. But the reflected rays R1 and R2 are not at all touching with each other. But you can simply see here, they appears to diverge from one point if you extend the reflected ray 1 to this point. If you again extend the reflected ray 2 to this point, they appears to diverge from this point. This point is said to be the image of this point object. This is our point object, this is our point image. But remember that these two reflected rays are not at all meeting with each other, but they appears to diverge, or they appears to meet at some point beyond the mirror. Mirror is here. Beyond the mirror at some point these two rays appears to meet with each other. That point is said to be the image. That point is said to be the image. These rays are said to be produced. Okay, we used the produce term, which means extending some rays, extending the unintersected rays to make them diverge from one point. That phenomenon is said to be produced. Actually, these reflected rays are not touching with each other, but for image formation they should touch. Instead of touching each other, they appears to diverge from one point. At that point of divergence, the image of this point object is formed. Remember one thing, that the image is beyond the mirror, not in the mirror. It is beyond the mirror. Understood? This is how the point object has formed its image by a plane mirror which is polished, highly polished at one side. Done? Point object and point image. Now here comes two sort of questions. Is it a real image or a virtual image? To know whether it is a real image or virtual image, you should have an idea on the differences in between them. Real image, it is formed when the refracted rays interact with each other. Okay, the refracted rays when interact with each other, then only a real image is formed. Here no refraction has been done, so this is definitely not a real image, because only phenomenon occurred here is the reflection only. Let's come to the virtual image. Produced rays forms virtual images. Yes, these two reflected rays are produced to form the image. Produced means extending. Yes, so the image formed here is virtual image. This is not a real image, but it is a virtual image. Let me discuss about the real images in the next videos. Up to now, let's deal with the virtual ones. And one more difference is real images can be caught on screen. When you place a screen, you could be able to see the real images on the screen. But virtual image can't be traced on a screen. It should be formed inside the mirror. You can't trace it on a screen. Always inverted images are real images. And see now, if the object is in the upward direction, when it is forming a real image, the image will be in the downward direction. If the object is in the upward direction, when it is forming a virtual image, its image will be in the upper direction only. If the image is inverted, it is called inverted image. If the image is in the same direction as the object, it is said to be erect. Always remember, all the real images are inverted ones, all the virtual images are erect ones. And see, as it is a plane mirror, when we hoist some flag like this, in the mirror it appears to be in reverse direction. It is pointing towards right here, object, but it appears that it is pointing towards left in the image. This reversion in the left and right directions is said to be lateral inversion. This is all about the image formation in a plane mirror. Let us discuss about the brief introduction of spherical mirrors, their parts and the image formation in the upcoming videos.